U.S. President Donald Trump is following through on his threat to raise tariffs on Canada.
Today, of course, is trade deadline day. The White House says Trump signed an executive order raising duties on some Canadian goods from 25 to 35%. This is a live look from Steeltown this morning. The new rate kicks in today. That was the deadline Trump had given Prime Minister Mark Carney to reach a new trade agreement. The White House says higher tariffs were necessary because of retaliatory measures taken by Canada and what it called inaction on the fentanyl crisis. The higher tariffs won't apply to goods that comply with the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement.
And for a reaction to this latest escalation in the trade war, let's bring in Unifor National President Lana Payne. Good morning, Lana. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us. So let's start by talking about how significant this increase is on some goods, 25% to 35%. It doesn't cover items or industries that aren't part of the current agreement we're under from 2020. But I understand it still has a huge impact affecting many.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that there are a lot of goods in Canada that are covered by this trade agreement and that are in compliance with this trade agreement. So they won't be subjected to the 35% tariff that President Trump has announced and signed in an executive order. The bigger challenge for us, of course, is there are two types of tariffs that we are facing as a country right now. Those that he has applied in terms of the 35%, but there's the sectoral tariffs, which are the huge tariffs facing auto, 25%, steel and aluminum, 50%. And that is very, very concerning. And it's why we have to be careful here as Canadians not to get conditioned into signing a bad deal. We have to push back hard.
Okay, you mentioned the word push back hard. This is something that Premier Doug Ford seems to be on board with. He says we need to, hit them back hard with what they need us for, whether it's oil, gas, other minerals that we have. What do you think is the right approach right now? Do we need to be hitting back with retaliatory tariffs or other measures?
I think, firstly, we all have to understand what we are facing. And I agree with Premier Ford. And he is premier of a province that is getting hit very hard with the current sectoral tariffs. In addition to what we're seeing on auto, steel and aluminum, we have softwood lumber duties that have caused any number of problems for the forestry sector. We have another Section 232 trade investigation on wood products, on pharmaceuticals, on all sorts of things. So there is a litany of other trade tariffs that we are likely to face as a result of this trade war, which is why it's so important that we create pressure points for the United States. Their tariffs on us, for example, on aluminum, are going to create all kinds of problems in the U.S. economy. And we have to make sure that we're being a little patient here so that that pain is being felt in the United States.
What are you hearing from employees directly impacted by the tariffs, especially given it seems like the number changes quite frequently, almost like on a day-to-day basis now? People in softwood lumber, in the automotive industry, in steel and aluminum, how are they feeling?
This is an everyday thing for me right now because we have members in all of those industries, and the anxiety, the concern, the waiting for another happening in this trade war, there's no doubt about it. And workers are feeling the brunt of it. They're on the front lines of this. And that's why in any set of negotiations, we have to remember who is at risk, whose jobs are at risk, and they have to be at the center of what we negotiate here, and to make sure that we're protecting them and their industries. And the reality here is, I get it, people are very tired right now. Canadians are tired of this. But we have to stay strong. We cannot be conditioned into taking a bad deal because we're tired of what's been going on. We have to stand firm and we have to push back. We have leverage as a country and we have to be willing to use it.
So we know that this new 35% kicks in today on the non-CUSMA compliant products and goods. But we've been under this cloud of uncertainty since pretty much U.S. President Donald Trump took office and announced these tariff threats. What have we kind of lost so far? What has been at stake already, given the current climate we've been in terms of these industries and jobs so far?
Yeah, this is why we've been clear as a union that we have to to push to negotiate a deal that does not normalize tariffs on sectors like auto, steel, aluminum, because we've already seen what tariffs have done to those industries. We have seen a pullback on investment. If you look at just this past week, the automakers in the United States that build a lot of cars in Canada experienced huge losses in their profits, billions and billions of dollars, and forecasted to lose billions more because of these tariffs. So we understand that it is having an impact. It's also had an impact on jobs in particularly the auto and the steel sectors. These sectors employ a lot of Canadians, support a lot of communities. And again, when you look at softwood lumber and you look at the softwood lumber duties, these are hundreds, of communities across our country that are impacted by this in the forestry sector. So it's, we can't minimize the impact is what I'm saying. We have to understand that it is having a toll on people all across our country right now.
It really is just so much uncertainty and such a huge impact for people who are just trying to figure this all out and see, what it's really going to cost them. Unifor National President Lana Payne joining us live this morning. Lana, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.